Okay, grab a cup of coffee. Today we're going to talk about dividend stocks, dividend ETFs. We're going to show my dividend income projected and how close I am to my yearly goal of $4,000 a year in dividends. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. We talk about different stock news. More recently, Tattooed Chef, if you're interested in that. We talk about dividends. We talk about selling puts and calls on the side for some income. There hasn't been much action with that more recently. And just whatever other videos I feel like making. I feel like the about section of my channel is pretty accurate. And something I wanted to show before we hop into the dividend aspect is something I told myself I wouldn't do again, and that is purchasing calls. I have a terrible track record of purchasing calls, but when I saw the opportunity to buy a couple calls on SoFi, I went ahead and I did so, just with all of the banking crashing that's been going on. SoFi took a hit. I said, let me buy a few calls and just see if I can make some money off them. And you can say this is more of gambling because really it is. But there are some $5 straight calls expiring October 20th. So if I end up making any money off of this, I'll use that money to go into like VOO or SCHD. Because Lord knows I have enough shares of SoFi already. So let's hop over to Propeller. This is the tool I use to keep track of projected dividend income. As far as I know, it's free. I was kind of grandfathered into this application. I used to use it back when it was dividend.com. But now if you want to use this and you want to go check it out for yourself, there is a wait list. And I'm not sure how long the time is between you being put on the wait list to being given access to this app. But it's really nice. It allows you to either manually enter stocks, which is what I do, or you can link your brokerage accounts and have the stocks ingested that way. I don't really trust that, so I just export my stock data into some kind of like spreadsheet, and then I use a Python script to compile all of the different stocks and quantities, and then I manually enter those amounts. And if everything is correct, my next 12-month income is projected to be $2,735 with an average yield with all of these stocks entered of 3.15%. What's really cool about Propeller is they show you a month-to-month breakdown on when you can expect these dividend payments. In March, I'm projected to make $171.75 total. 165 have been declared. We're still waiting on Target to declare its dividend, which I find this odd. Maybe this isn't current or up to date because this says the payment date is March 10th. So why is it still estimated? It should have been paid. I'll have to check into that. And you might be wondering what this huge spike in December is. Well, I own an index fund. It's a Fidelity zero fee large cap index fund, and they pay their dividends for this index fund all at one chunk. And it's projected to be $333. So that's what makes up this huge spike in December. If we go and look at my portfolio, the two things I've really been buying recently are both VOO and SCHD when it comes to ETFs. And I have been buying a few more shares of both Home Depot, some JP Morgan as well, and Coca-Cola. I feel like you can't go wrong buying Coca-Cola. Everyone that's buying dividend stocks obviously buys this, it seems, and for good reason. But primarily, I've just been buying more SCHD, VOO. They're well diversified. VOO doesn't pay as much of a dividend, but that's okay. I don't need all of my income to be dividends because that's a huge tax burden if all of your income is, versus just, capital gains if it's long term. And really, I don't think the plan is going to change in the next few weeks. I haven't added any money recently to my brokerages to buy more shares, but when I do, eventually, I'm just going to keep accumulating shares of VOO and SCHD. And if we look at percentage of portfolio, here are my top holdings. We see that index fund I referenced earlier. We have Realty Income, we have SCHD, and VOO. Coming up, I'd like to do a video on another REIT I have actually also been buying a few shares of here and there. Stay tuned for that video. I think this is all we're going to talk about in this video. There's not a whole lot to update you on. And that might be the case for the majority of these videos. Really, the 12-month income is probably just what you care about the most. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in a future one.